Hey everybody, welcome to Heavy Metal. Pardon the background noise, it's raining out. We're out here on the workbench today. We've got the ISSC MK22. Some people refer to it as the mini scar. Yeah, this thing's pretty neat. I've already done one video of this, just test driving it a little bit. And I come to the conclusion that it seems to be a pretty good little rifle. Just needs a good cleaning. And that's what this video is all about. There's no modifications or anything going on. Just a good basic cleaning loop. Well, the first thing we do, as you see, we have no magazine, therefore no ammo. Chamber is open. I can clearly see down in there that there's nothing in that barrel. So, this thing is safe to work on. So let's get to it. First things first, the stock right here, I do believe you can push this pin out. At least I thought you could. It's hitting right there on that plastic. Alright, push it out the bottom. We don't care which way it comes out as long as it comes out. Push that out, come over here, use your same button, there we go. Then the stock will come on, off and get out of your way. Put that over here, out of the way. Now we have screw, hope y'all see okay. Screw here. If it's an Allen, flathead here, same on this side. So this flathead goes all the way through to the other one. This Allen is just a separate screw. And then we have Allen screw right back here that I believe has come out also. Let's see. There we go, have to help it a little bit. Alright, now, hey guys, this is the first time I took one of these apart, so just bear with me. We'll go ahead and take this lower off of here. There's another screw just like the one we done. And there's our lower. Yeah, you can see just how nasty that thing is in there. Filthy, filthy. Now, I believe we got one more screw right back here. That off of there. Oh, even that's dirty. Assembly right here needs to come out first. Find out. That is the same size. Alright, I'm going to take out this one. Hopefully y'all see that okay. Now from what I hear, when you put this one back, you should use a little bit of blue Loctite. I think they've been known to rattle loose. Well, I just found out when I picked up on this piece here, this assembly come flying out at me. It's still not what I was after. This aluminum block has to come out. Yep. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It did now. Now, seeing all the videos I've seen, there wasn't all that in there. I'm glad I got into this thing myself. But there we have it, guys. There's a whole bolt assembly set up. And there's the inside of the firearm. We don't need to really take anything else apart. We can clean the barrel from there. We can get a little bit of clean and lube on our charging handle. Yeah, no biggie right there. So what I'm going to do is take this right here, because that's filthy, and I'm going to dunk it down in my cleaner bucket and let it sit there and soak for a little bit, and then we will do the same with this assembly right here, and then take a closer look at everything once we get it good and clean. Alright guys, while all them other parts are soaking, I'm going to show you how to take this trigger group out of here. And first thing you do, there's something there, get a little storage compartment right here. Pop that out. And then you'll see down in here, a little Allen head. Let's see if we can find the right size for that one. Got it. Right, get that one out of there. Now, we need to take the safe fire switch selector off. There is a Phillips head screw right in there. So if you select fire, you'll be able to get to that pretty easy. Just takes a small Phillips head. It takes a really sharp edge when you get in there to it. There we go. That just pulls right off of there. Then go to the other side, and the whole thing just pulls right out. Now, this assembly is ready to take out, but I'm going to show you a couple things of caution. I don't know how well y'all can see it. The light in here just ain't that great. Sorry, y'all. Right down here, there's a couple of brass like washers down in here. Be careful, because when you pull this out, you can lose them. So what I'm going to do, try to hold it like this right here, is I pull the assembly out. See, the two right there. Just don't want to lose anything. There's the empty shell of the case. Man, that's filthy down in there. I'm glad I went ahead and took this thing down this far. A lot of cleaning needs to happen. Alright, now as you can see, you have your two brass washers there. They just come right off. Then this plate will come right off. Now when you're fooling with this trigger assembly, be careful. There's a spring in here. There's also a spring here and a spring here. Them can fly out and you can lose them. And there's also a spring here in the front. So a lot going on there. Now what we want to do is take our Phillips head screwdriver. 1, 2, 3, 4. Grab you something with an edge on it and start trying to separate these two halves. We don't want to lose a bunch of stuff, have this thing fly apart and go all crazy on us. Trying to be as careful as I can with it. And as you see, spring just flew out. That's why I say be as careful as you can with it. Now I know what spring it was. I'll go ahead and take it apart so y'all can see what spring it was. It was a spring for the hammer, and there's a little brass washer that goes with that spring as well. This little nut sits down in here. And that spring right there popped loose. We almost lost that one. So you got to be careful. Now that stuff flew this way. Luckily, there's the washer that goes on the end of it. Now, the hunt for the spring. Alright, found it. Yeah, I didn't think I was going to. Anyway, the strut assembly comes out. Now I got to figure out that little spring. Okay, here is, well, if it'll come off of there. There's the hammer. You see there's a washer here. Now, watch this spring. As you noticed, I pulled that pin out with the trigger assembly itself. And I'm going to set that just like that. That way I know that spring goes in there. Then this release right here. Alright, you notice there was that spring down in there. Now, the main reason I took this apart so much is not for the modification, but because it was filthy. So what I'm going to do, as you can tell, I've already sprayed a lot of cleaner in this thing. So go ahead and get it wiped down without losing every spring in it, and get all of my pieces wiped off and clean. Get all of that cleaned up. Now just grab me a couple of drops there. You see that spring came out on me. Actually, I think it'd be easier to set it back down in there if you don't knock it out. And then put the spring back in the opposite side. Be careful putting it back together. Yep. I missed that bottom lever right there. There we go. Remember, this one just goes right. There's a pocket up in there. And they just sit Right down in that little slot right there, ever so gently. You know what I mean? It's just barely sitting in there. Right, go ahead and get our spring and stuff back in here. I'm hoping that this right here will do the trick. I'm just going to try to pull the spring back as I put the holder in. Alright, so the little spring right there sits right down. You should be able to see that really well. So it's right down in there. There's actually a groove spot for it. Let's say when I was taking it apart, it fell out. So it's how come I had to figure out where it went. But that's where it goes. So cool. Now we need to get this back in there like it's supposed to be. And like I say, that's going to be a pain again. You'll be careful not to knock any of these other springs out too. Alright guys, I cannot find a spacer that I'm comfortable with using on that. So, what I have done though is grabbed another spring. Hopefully y'all can see the difference in them two. So I'm going to put this longer spring in. This will give us more tension. And we can use our factory hardware to put this thing back together. And now, just my opinion, I think this is a better fix than trying to cram a washer in there. Just from my perspective, it just seems like it'll work out a lot better if I can get the crazy thing in there with the stronger spring. No, I just like that a lot better. And it seems to be holding in there better too with that extra spring pressure. So, I may come up with a cool fix there. I don't know. But for me, it just seems to be a little bit better. Alright, now let me stop and look. Yep, glad I did. I forgot to put that nut back down in there. Alright, now, see how slick I am and get this all down in there. Now you see this pin here? I'm going to hold this so it doesn't fly out. Now the nut fell out again, that's okay. Make sure this pin comes through this slot right here. Now without everything blowing all to pieces, let's see if we can get this casing back together. Now remember this right here too. Alright, as we're putting this all back together, this here will go on the front side. Like so. Now I'm going to see if all of that is going together correctly. Everything but this front spring. So I'm going to get a good hold on this. You see it's touching right there. Alright. Now without everything flying apart, go ahead and hurry up and put our 4 screws in. Alright, snug them all up. Alright, let's get that together. Man, make sure it works. And it works. Now, we have this plate. Remember, that's what this spring right here is all about. That little tab right here sits down in there and goes against that spring. So, yep, a couple drops of oil will do it. I like it. Alright, if that goes down in there, as you see, I had to push that backwards to make everything work just fine. Now, don't fly apart. We're close to putting it back into our housing, but I want to take and go ahead and run through this again and clean it out a little bit better before we go any further. Alright, got that cleaned out pretty good. Doesn't look too bad at all. A drop of oil on that release for the mag. Now, try to get this assembly back in here without everything exploding. Have to hold some pressure on that. Remember the little brass washers that we took off? Now, holding all of this good and tight. Alright, I think that's in there. Let's go ahead and get this one. It's our bolt that goes up through the bottom and holds it together. Okay, just snug. You don't have to ungodly tighten that thing. I'm going to put our little cap back on. Yeah, it's sort of neat. They give you a little storage thing there. I like that. You probably get 2022 shells up in there. Now, trying to look real close, make sure I didn't forget anything. Looking pretty good. Now our safety. Remember, we was in the fire position, so that's the way we put it back in. And then that little screw that we had going on there. It feels like it should. Alright, they've been soaking in the cleaner for a while. It's got just a nylon brush here, nothing fantastic. Go ahead and use a nylon brush to break up all of that crap. Now, I'm not going to take the slide assembly all the way apart. I really don't think that you need to. Should be able to get in there and give this thing a good cleaning without all of that disassembly. Alright, don't look too bad. I'm going to dunk it back in the cleaner and let it sit a little longer. Now, the barrel assembly and the receiver here. Go ahead and hit it real good. Yeah, this gun was just filthy. I mean, filthy. I'll get some of our bore cleaner here. I'll just run this down the barrel. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and keep running that cleaner down in that barrel. And go ahead and grab my brass brush and get that cleaned out really well. And then stick it back over here in this big bucket. I got a cleaner and let that soak for a little bit. Alright, I've got all of these parts cleaned up. As you can see, under the light, we got them clean. They are spotless. The only bad thing about cleaning the rest, this paint that they put on these is pretty cheap and pretty crappy because I had some peeling going on. What I did, I left these soak in that cleaner, scrubbed them, done that about 3-4 times a piece, rinsed them in the cleaner. Now this is the same cleaner, I got this from a buddy of mine. It's the same stuff that a lot of the big gun manufacturers use when they clean theirs at the factory. So no, it's a good cleaner. And it's not going to hurt a firearm, that's why I use it. Then the last thing I done, I took just basic alcohol, the same alcohol I use when I rub down my cars, prepping them for paint, and used it as a rinse on this because I don't have any brake cleaner. It's empty. Yeah, that's a drag. Alright, now I got to figure out if I can remember how all this stuff goes back together. And yes, I'm fixing to start throwing some oil to her. If it moves or slides, I put oil on it. And you can see wear spots in this thing. So, wherever there's wear spots, that's where you put a little oil. And be careful when you're doing this with gloves on, because you can get a piece of glove off in there. It's easy to do. I have done it. And I know there's some of y'all freaking out right now because of all the oil that I am putting on. Now, that's just the way I do it, guys. Always have. Always will. And they seem to work fine, and I don't have no issues with them. Alright. Well. Got that in there. You will feel that pop in down there. Alright, good and tight. Now, this is the one I was talking about. Some of these has been known to let loose or rattle loose over a period of time. So, we're going to be better safe than sorry. See if we can get us a little drop on here. Put some Loctite on that bad boy. And we're going to have to sit there for a minute. Because that one should have went in before this one. Alright, that's tight. And Loctite will assure that it doesn't go nowhere. Didn't hear anything about this bolt having an issue, so I assume that it's fine. I think this has to slide down in there just a little bit to make it go. Yeah, just like so. Now I'm just running this up. I'm not tightening it. Now, put her end cap back on. We really don't like that. Just have one little screw that holds that on there. Not a thrill for me. Just wanted to check something. Knew that was loose. That was tight. Tight. Yeah, that was loose. I didn't loosen it, but it doesn't matter. I'm gonna tighten it. Now for our flatheads, go ahead and get them all tightened back up. Alright guys, brought a mag and some ammo out here. Get 10. Alright, got that all back together. Got it all back together. And I'll go ahead and tell you, I did take it back apart and go back in. I did not like that hammer spring that I chose, so I got one that was a lot stiffer and actually a little bigger around, because I know that is an issue on these, so I wanted to make sure I took care of that issue. Now I just loaded up, I think 7 in here of that CCI Clean. Let's see if she'll run now. Yeah, she took it. Well, as you see, same before. What I'm going to have to do is go in there and do a little bit better on that spring, I assume. Well, guys, I've been through this thing several more times, taking this trigger group apart. I tried several different springs on the hammer. Even went back to the original one and actually tried some small washers in there. The original one broke, and that just tells me what kind of fatigue was going on with it. Just like the rest of this firearm, there is a lot of wear in it. It's had the crap shot out of it and hasn't been taken care of. And I think it's part of the problem. Ended up finding the best spring that I could in my parts bin to put back in here, and still this thing is not 100%. Now, and this is just my opinion, not a big fan of this design and the way it operates. In hopes that there is maybe a kit out there for the hammer spring and whatever else is going on with this that a person can buy and install and make this a good rifle that shoots every time without any issues. I'm definitely going to check into that and tell my customer to check into it as well. So we may be revisiting this and going back in this trigger group again and installing that if it's available. But anyway, I do appreciate y'all watching the video. I know it was very long, but this was a lot of work involved. Now you know how to take one of these down, clean it, lube it, put it back together, get into the trigger group. I showed you what kind of problems can come up and how particular it is about getting everything back just so because of so many springs and such. But enough yapping. I just want to say thanks for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope you learned a little bit of something about the MK22. I know I did. If y'all would, throw me down some comments. If you're able, hit us up on Patreon. And please like, share, and subscribe. Again, thanks for watching. And until the next one, I hope that everyone has a fantastic day.